Beat them senseless.
You and me and you, we gonna throw down. That's right, we gonna get serious.
You can run, but you can't hide.
It's time for the Fuller Broadcast with your host, Jeff Fuller.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Fuller Broadcast. I'll interview fighters from all around the world, from the BKFC, UFC, Bellator, you name it. No matter what combat sports, you can also be in street beef, Emmy fight. I will get you on my show. We'll talk about your career, your fighting, what's going on. If we're going to be seeing you in the pros, it's just a lot of stuff that we talk about. So right now I'm going to do a video of my sponsors, give them a shout out, and I'm going to bring our guest on. All right, this is sponsored. Just so you guys know, our primary sponsor, Just Blaze Clothing Company. Make sure you guys check them out. Give them a like and share. Make sure you do follow them because you'll be the first one to be Just Blaze on your block. I have Cappuccino Banquet, which is here locally out in Castle Grand, Eloy. They go around the counties selling their products. They got cups, they make t-shirts, they make a lot of products for your special loved ones when you guys need like Valentine's or anything like that. Make sure you guys go to their page, give them a like and share. And now you got Churrolicious Arizona. It's a local food truck out in Arizona, which basically they go around 8 counties. They go to events, concerts, anything you guys see them, look them up. You got the Sweet Tooth. They got a lot of sweets for your stomach and also for your kids. Now we got Twitches, which is Thackeray's wife owns that company. They make a lot of Stitch stuffed animals and stuff. They make t-shirts. She also do some cups on the side. They're in Illinois. If you guys are locally over there, give them a like and a share and follow them. And also D&D Baits, custom baits. You can fish anywhere in the world with these baits. May be the first one to catch a lot of baits. I apologize. A lot of fish with these baits. Make sure you guys go on their website, get them a like, a share, and a follow. And now, all that sponsors been shout out. We're going to give a special shout to our guest right now, Raymond Pell. You guys know him, Public Enemy #1 and fights BKFC, and he's got a fight coming up. We're going to talk more about his training and everything. So let's bring him back on our show. What's up, Raymond? How you doing?
What's up, buddy? How you doing tonight? I'm doing good myself.
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing pretty good.
So,
a good Saturday night.
That's good. I noticed you just came from the BKFC tryout. So before I ask you any of these questions, what is it like to, you're in the BKFC and you got fighters that you train and you go with. What is it like to go to those BKFC tryouts with all your, partners, your, teammates?
Well, I like it. Like I've done it before myself, so I kind of knew somewhat of what to expect from it. And it turned out good today. And they did, similar to the last one that I was at. They did they made them run. They came back. They did some shadow boxing. Chris Lytle and Jay Jackson kind of ran it, and Lorenzo came in at the halfway through, and he helped run it too. Jared Warren also was there and did a little bit of talking and stuff as well. And there was a handful of other good fighters from the BKFC there as well. And it was a good turnout. There was 50 dudes that showed up, and it was over at Kevin Smith Gym in Hudson, I believe it's called. It's right outside of Tampa. But there's a lot of good talent over there in Tampa. And there was a few good guys that showed up to the tryouts today. I was impressed with a few of them. Some younger guys that were really good.
So it looks like you have a lot of big schedule with, going to bare knuckle tryouts, and you're getting ready for your your camp right now, get ready for your upcoming fight. So what gyms are you like training at right now? Like you have your local gym, are you training at different gyms that get help? And who are your coaches?
So I have a couple of gyms that I kind of go to and I spar at. I like to go to Fusion and spar. Um, I haven't actually been there in a couple weeks, but that's a good one to spar at. There's a lot of really good, talented fighters over there, and my coach that I'm under is Andy Rivera, and he's part of Rivera Brothers Boxing, which they started out up in Massachusetts, which they actually started in Puerto Rico, but they started big time in Massachusetts. They got big fighters like Rashidi Ellis under them as well. Um, and he actually lives down here in Florida, and his brother runs the gym up there. So he trains me down here, and he's a really good trainer. He's actually put me through a really good camp. And then I just kind of go around. There's another gym over here called Pete White's Boxing, and I've went there for a while when I was younger. So I've kind of reunited with them, and I go there and get good work in because they got a lot of good pro fighters there as well. And I've tried to seek out all the southpaws in Volusia County and kind of bring them to me to spar on my sparring days because my opponent is a southpaw, so I want to be ready for that.
That's good, man. It's like you're getting all that training from different gyms and local. Maybe when you go out of state, you train at different gyms. So, do
Yeah.
you think training at different gyms is getting you, you know, different training that's helping you that you might learn from something new that like, hey, I'm gonna try this. Do you feel like you're getting new stuff from different gyms?
Yeah, actually I do feel like the more places that I go and I make contact with more fighters. I do learn more stuff from more talented fighters. Like I get to go spar with people like Mike Perry and stuff like that. Another guy that I really look up to and learn a lot from is Lorenzo Hunt. He is kind of the face of the sport right now, but he's really a helpful guy and he knows his shit. So I listen to whatever he says. And he's another one I want to go get some work in with. And I talked to all the guys that shipped MMA today too over in Tampa, and that's like all the good guys in BKFC, like David Mundell, he's the 175-pound champion, Jared Warren, his girlfriend Crystal Pittman, Ryan Reber, Superman Brandon Allen was there, Jafar Ford. There was a handful of guys there. J.R. Ridge was there. Of course, Chris Lytle was there. He's cool. I like him a lot. He's a really influential guy.
Wow, a lot of names I heard from. I've had most of the fighters that you mentioned on my show already, so it's good to see where they're going now. I've seen a lot of them. I haven't seen Jared fight like in a few. He haven't fought in 3 months, but it's good to have that experience with different fighters, different gyms, so you have that experience. It's like, hey, I haven't like tried this before. That's something I'm gonna try. That experience is
Right.
really good for you guys. So, with the experience you're getting from the bare knuckle fighters, before you started bare knuckle, what experience do you have like with jiu-jitsu, wrestling, kickbox, Muay Thai, and how long have you been in the combat sports?
Well, so I started like messing around doing like jujitsu and stuff back in high school. I actually raced dirt bikes. I started doing jujitsu for cardio. It's funny. I ended up breaking my leg on the dirt bike, losing a lot of sponsors, and I went and started doing jujitsu and competing and got good at it. Then I took some time off, and then in my 20s I started to fight again, and I've done it all. I've done MMA, boxing, Muay Thai. So my amateur career was full of. I went around. I did a lot of jujitsu tournaments too, and I still will do them. Um, I'm almost a purple belt in jujitsu. I'm striped out as a blue belt, and I'd probably be a lot higher if I committed more time to jujitsu. I just lately have been really focused on boxing, so I haven't really been doing a whole lot of jujitsu just because I want to. And actually, I should say more of a bare knuckle base I've been focused on, but also mixing the boxing in as well. Like I like to get my work in with the really good pro boxers too, because those are the dudes that I get good with my footwork and my head movement with those guys, and it's really helps me a lot to work with pro boxers.
That's good. It's that you have all that experience. Do you feel like bare knuckle is your like number one priority now?
Right now, yes. I feel like they pay the best. I mean, boxing pays pretty good too, but what I've been offered around the board for other fights, I'm not going to mention like money wise that what I've been offered and what I've been paid really, but I'll put it this way, bare knuckle offers a lot more money than the other options. So I was a lot more focused on that. And my first fight was at Valor. I was like their number one pick when I was the first tryout in Jacksonville. And I also did the BKFC tryout, so I really wasn't picked by BKFC first. And Valor picked me, so I went and fought for them. And then I contacted BKFC afterwards because I actually did the very first BKFC amateur fight in Lakeland for BKFC with MMA gloves on. They call it modified boxing, and they're 90-second rounds of bare knuckle rule set boxing with MMA gloves on. So I got my first taste of that. Me and Billy Graves. I'm gonna shout out to him because that was a tough dude. Like he had a jaw made of cast iron. I hit that thing with everything I had, and multiple times, like I thought he was gonna go down, and he just kind of shook it off when I'd hit him again, and I was like, damn, this is a tough guy.
Wow, that's good. So with Valor, then you had your BKFC fight. Let's talk about your recent last fight. What was the excitement like from your last fight? How did it feel when you walked in that ring and you walked out, winner at that fight? How did that how did that make you feel?
It felt really good. I'm actually friends with the guy that I fought, and that I just had to set that to the side and be like, obviously we got to compete and fight. So you got to flip the switch and kind of forget the friendships in the middle of the fight. But we actually put on a really good fight, and I was happy with it because I didn't actually end up knocking him out, which is good because he's my buddy. But I did do enough to win by unanimous decision, and my hope for that fight was to put on fight of the night had they gave out bonuses. And if they did, I believe we would have got fight of the night and got the bonus because it was definitely the best looking fight of the night.
Yeah, I ended up watching that fight. That was a great fight. And seeing you winning that fight, I think that fight with that win that it's got you ready for the next fight you got coming up. So give us a little bit more.
Yes.
I'm not sure if you're allowed to talk about it, but how's it feel to be getting ready for being prepared and training for your upcoming fight?
I'll be honest with you, I feel really, really good. I'm doing a lot of strength and conditioning, a lot of cardio, a lot of sparring, a lot of pad work, just getting a lot of the really crucial work in, working with my feet, working my head. Like that's the thing about bare knuckle is you really want to move your head because it's a tiny object that you're blocking with and you're throwing with. It's not a boxing glove and it's really not an MMA glove. It's smaller than that. So moving your head is important because if you just sit there and eat punches, you're gonna definitely get damage. And I mean, obviously you're gonna take some damage you're fighting, but to take the least amount of damage is definitely the goal. So I've been working a lot on that and my cardio. If you can't breathe, you can't fight. So, um, in 20 days of the month, this month I had ran 25 kilometers already. So I've been running every day. I go 30 minutes a day. So I average, if I'm running in soft sand, it's about 3.5 miles. If I'm running on the road, it's 4.5, 5 miles. Just depends on what pace I run at.
So, what's your training routine? So, is your training routine different than what you had before you started the bare knuckle game, or is it still the same?
No, I've changed it a lot. I've actually the strength and conditioning, I upped it a lot. I do a lot of strength and conditioning now, and I do a lot of running, which I did before. I don't do. I focus a lot on jujitsu and all around the board stuff before, and then when I took my first bare knuckle fight, I still did a lot of jujitsu for cardio. Now I really took it to the next level and just focused on bare knuckle boxing. And because like boxing is boxing, MMA is MMA, and bare knuckle is bare knuckle. Um, you see excellent boxers come and get fucked up all the time in there because they're not used to getting split in the first, second round for one. They're not used to getting hit without the pillows on either. I mean, I'm sure they train for it and they prepare for it, but when you get lit up, it's different, definitely different. But it's something that you realize if you're made for it or not when you're in there.
So if you feel like that with the past recent fights you had with Valier and your last one, that next fight you come and you're like you're ready for this fight to start. So how you feel like that step is going for you right now? Before that, I think your fight March. You said in March, right?
Yes, sir. March 15th, and that's in Miami,
March
Florida,
5th.
at I believe the Dolphin Mall or something like that. I'd have to look exactly where it's at, but it is in Miami for BKFC. It's a fight night.
That sounds like you're gonna be like one of those famous buildings in one of those rich areas where a lot of people like to see a lot of combat sports fighting. David Feldman's doing a great
Yes.
job with all the BKFC fans coming up, and you have a lot more fights in you. So how many more fights that you feel like with the age? You feel like age is just a number, or you feel like you can fight 10 more years down the road?
No, I definitely want to see what happens with it, but I'm planning for next 10-year career. Like I turned 32 this year, and I heard Lorenzo say today he's 42 and he's still doing it. He's doing a damn good job at it. So I'm setting the goal to, at least try to do it the next 10 years in fighting and, set goals, try to become the champion and whatnot, maybe a champion in multiple divisions and maybe a champion in multiple organizations. That's the real goal, is to hold three belts in three organizations. But we'll see what the future holds with that.
Sounds good. So, what are the coaches like right now that you have that are training you in a bare knuckle? Are they the same coaches that you had when you were training MMA, or is it different coaches?
So where I go to train at, I go and spar a few times a week at Pete's. They actually trained me for a lot of my MMA career. So um that not so different. My coach Andy, I just met him this past year, and I met him right before my last bare knuckle fight. So he started helping me right before it, and I had another gym I was going to because I was coaching and stuff as well at the time, and they had a kids program there as well. So I uh, I ended up leaving that gym to really focus on bare knuckle, and I'm gonna focus on coaching more later on in my career because I want to try to make a run at this career now and make what I can out of it. And then kind of use my retirement plan as coaching, because by the end of my fight career, I feel like I will have learned a lot more too to be able to teach.
That sounds good, man. It sounds good because I've seen a lot of past fighters end up getting their own gym now, like Chris out in I think he lives in Boston, Massachusetts, something now. Chris Sorrow,
Yeah.
Golden Gloves gym. I mean, there's a lot of fighters that take their passion from their past, from their career, from fighting, MMA, boxing, and move up the next step, training the little ones. They have them ready, have them, a lot of people don't like, like combat sports. They think it's violent. But like me, I don't think it's violent. I think we're teaching our kids about the sports, about protecting themselves, more like, being in shape, show them the real role model, what you guys are. So what do you think about those haters that actually feel like bare knuckle is not a sport and they don't think it's right for the kids? Do you feel like that's something that like you don't believe in? You feel like that it's okay to train your kids?
1,000%. I actually think that all kids should train at least boxing and jujitsu or at the minimum jujitsu at anything, so they have some kind of self-defense mechanism at the least. Like they're not just sitting there like, oh my god, if they get lit up, they can do something, because there are kids that bully other kids, and I mean you're gonna get in situations where people put their hands on you sometimes, and you're gonna have to defend yourself. So I think that in life, that yeah, I believe that everybody should train in some kind of competitive sport or something. I mean, some kind of sport, period. But I do think that at some point in life that, and I think they should
Going
start as a
down.
child, because as a child they're sponges, and I, like I said, I've coached some children, and I enjoy it. I like to teach them because it's so cool to see them absorb it and learn. And then they're like, take off
Yeah.
with it. And then they start using it in competitions and winning. And it's like you see the excitement in them because they're like, oh, I just learned this last week and I just nailed it in the competition. So I love seeing that in kids. So I definitely, it is in the future for me.
I agree with you like 1000%. Well, my kids, I got my own punching bag. I used to be a wrestler, so I teach my older son how to wrestle. I teach him how to, a little bit of boxing, not
Right.
to like, train to go out there and kick somebody's butt for no reason. I want them to
Right.
learn, the fundamental parts of being healthy, keep working out, just being in shape. That's something I like.
Right. And fighting is something that does keep you in a pinnacle shape. So if you're training hard for it, you're going to be in really good shape pretty much all the time. Like I could say the past 10 years of my life, I've been in the best shape of my life. I call it like the decade of domination. Now I have to make 2 decades of domination.
That's true. So here's a question that a lot of fighters are being asked on my show lately. Who's your favorite fighter? It doesn't matter. Bare knuckle. It could be yourself. It could be boxing. It could be karate. It could be whoever you.
That's a
I would say
crazy.
is.
So somebody asked me this shit earlier too, and the person that made me recognize the sport was definitely Chuck Liddell, and um, I'll always be a Iceman fan. He brought me in. Then I'll have to say after that, when I started like analyzing the sport after he kind of faded out, I really started to adapt to like BJ Penn. I liked his style. He was a champion. He had a champion's mindset, and he didn't care. He fought all the way up to 205, all the way down to 155, maybe 145 before. But the guy's fought in multiple weight classes. He's a class act guy. I mean, now he's running for like some kind of senate or something in Hawaii. But yeah, I like BJ Penn a lot, and bare knuckle. I have to say I really like Lorenzo. Like he's kind of the face of the sport right now. And like I said before, anything that guy has to spread is pretty knowledgeable. And I'm like a sponge around him. I actually plan on doing a camp with him. I've collaborated with them and talked to them a few times. I talked to Lorenzo today, but they have Lorenzo's Juggernaut Life management. He's going to start managing fighters and whatnot. So, and they do camps and stuff like that. And then he's got a guy with no quarter combatives, Nate Hester, and he's a really good dude. He's been helping me out a lot, and I've been collaborating with them a little bit. And I think my next fight, I'm going to do a little bit of a camp with them, and then also I got big boy Chris Jensen is my manager. He really helps me out a lot too. He's the one who got me to bare knuckle. He's the one he matched my first MMA fight 10 years ago. So he ended up being my manager. He match made Valor and set me up with a good fight there. Although we were both like basically like he calls us like his sons. Like Hawaii's the guy I fought is like another one of his dudes. And I don't know, we're really close friends, all of us. So that's another, I can go over there to Tampa and train with all those gyms over there too. So I have a really good support system around me. And I feel like that helps a lot with,
That's good.
putting me on a different level and a different mindset than other people.
So that's the next question I was going to ask about your support and your family and everybody. How is that support system with the kids and not being home all that? You got work and you have to train. So how's that support
Right.
with your family? Do they like?
My family's pretty supportive with it. They've always known that it's like been my dream. I've been doing it for the past like 10 years, like I said, and I took some time off. I had my kid, I took time off then went through some custody stuff, and I have 50-50 custody. So it is hard as a single dad, but we work it out. My kid will come to the gym with me, and she's pretty good. Like she doesn't wild out and do crazy stuff. Like she's got manners, and um she does well. And she also her like my mom helps me a lot too with my training. So like if I got to train extra, sometimes my mom will watch my kid for me while I'm doing it. So I got to give a shout out to my mom too, because she's really helped me a lot through my whole career with that. And um and that's big to me. And my whole family's supportive too. And I got sponsors. Some of my family sponsors me as well, and I got a handful of sponsors. I can shout them out. I actually got a whole list of them. There's so many of them. I'm gonna go ahead and shout them out real quick since we're on that topic. I got Embrace the Lion, which is a cousin of mine, and he's like a life coach speaker, and he does a lot of like influential stuff. So he sponsored me. I got Grapple Inc. They've been with me since the beginning. Um, I They're very, very supportive for me. Broken Ribs Barbecue and 3 Hate 6 Bully Coalition. They're the same guy. Um, he's been with me since the beginning. He's very, very supportive, and his barbecue sauce is really good. I do recommend trying it. I also have Kiss My Fist Medco, and they are really a good company. I really like getting their stuff. It helps me a lot. Their edibles and stuff. And if you like edibles, anybody that's listening to this right now, if you go to their website, you can order anything they have and type my last name in as the promo code, and it will give you 20% off the purchase. And I do recommend it because their stuff is really good. I also have Chin Check, which is a clothing company, and that dude hooks me up with a lot of stuff. He's really supportive. His name's Dennis. He's really cool. Small Improvements. These are all local companies that sponsor me. Clinton Auto Body, Brian Tumblin's Screen Repair, Sunshine State Bulldogs, and the guys that I talked about in the beginning, they helped me out a lot. Nate Hester has really been, going up over and beyond to help me. I really appreciate that, dude. That's with No Quarter Combatives, and he's got like a whole list of fighters that he deals with, and it's like just guys that he picks. He likes them, and he's a cool dude. So I like him a lot. And Lorenzo, like I said, that dude, anything he says is pretty knowledgeable for the sport and in life too. Lorenzo's like he's a good dude. Once you get to know him and everything as a person, he's a good dude. I like him. That's the same with my
All right,
manager,
that
Big
it
Boy.
looks like it sounds like you got some
Yeah, I got
awesome
a lot of support.
sponsors, man.
I got sponsors, I got support, and I mean, until I get to the top, obviously I have to work jobs and stuff too. But it's the life of a fighter. One day I'll be to where I don't have to do none of that, and I can fight and do what I want to do, train kids, and
All right,
live life.
so we have a question real quick from one of the fans. I'm not sure if you know this one because I really don't know who's the main event at UFC, but got a question. Who are you taking in tonight's main event at the UFC?
Who is the main
I
event
don't
tonight?
I don't know. Let me go check it out. Why go look at
I'll
it?
go watch the fights after
So
this.
so what's your
Oh, it's
we're
UFC
all about done here.
Mexico.
So yeah, yep. I'm gonna look it up right now. I think it's
I think it's
Morano.
Morano and fuck, who's the other guy? I'm gonna go with Morano though. He's a good fighter.
Yeah, I have him too.
I-
I have him.
I'm pretty
I
excited
think
about
he'll win.
that co-main. That co-main's gonna. I mean, that whole card's actually good, but the co-main is a really good fight. That's Rodriguez and Ortega. Like that's a good one.
Yeah, it's been. I watched the first 4 fights. They were pretty good, except for the one before you came on. Well, Bonar, he should have. He had like 2 seconds left and tapped out, and I was like,
Oh man, those
yeah.
are the
So
shitty ones. I
it's
hate when
gonna
that
be. I'm
happens.
gonna. So with all your training, the support system you got, your last win at BKFC, what are we gonna see from 2024 from you, the fans and around the world, your family? What are we gonna see from you in 2024?
I hope to see a lot of activity this year. We'll see what happens March 15th, how that plays out, and I think it's going to play out very well. I'm preparing quite well for that fight, and we'll see what's next to offer. But really, I hope you guys see activity from me, and that at the least. I want to make as many moves in my career as I can in the next year. So that's what you'll see from me.
There you go, guys. You heard from Raymond Pell, public enemy #1. So make sure you guys check out this watch this interview. Towards the end, I think he'll probably do a real announce, like get 20% off of one of the companies that he's talking about. So make sure you guys listen at the end towards this interview and see what he has to say about getting 20% off. And I'd like to thank you so much for taking the time. I know you have a busy
Yes,
schedule
sir.
with training and getting ready for, your upcoming fight. Plus you have kids too, taking care of your daughter. And I know
Yes,
what it's
sir.
like. So thank you. Thank you so much for taking the time coming on the full
Well,
broadcast show.
thank you for having me. I appreciate it. Anytime you want to do interviews with me, I'm open to it. So just reach
That
out.
sounds wonderful, man. 'Cause wait till after March 15th. I'll get you right back on it. And we can talk about if
All right, buddy.
all right, man. Have a good
We can
night.
talk
Thank you.
about that 2-0. Yes, sir. Have a good night, brother. Bye.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. All right, guys. You heard it from Raymond. Yeah, bare knuckle fighter. Got a fight coming up March 15th. Make sure you guys keep updated. Watch the page. Give him a like and a follow. Public enemy #1 is ready for that fight. He's training really hard. And from win #1 at BKFC, can he go 2-0 March 15th? Make sure you download the Bare Knuckle app and find out. And I'd like to give a shout out to all my sponsors around the world and my local. Let me play this video real quick. All right. Twitches, witches, stitches. Thank you for all your support and sponsors and helping us with the show. They make my co-host here not talk a little bit about it. They make some stitch stuff, animals, stuff for your family, your kids, for your loved ones. They also make cups with names, t-shirts. They're locally in Illinois. If you guys want to check them out, go like and share their page and follow them. They got a lot of stuff. She hand makes those, so check them out. And also, my new sponsor, Cafecito. I'm not sure if you can see this. I gotta get closer. Hang on for a second. They make up. They got me a Red Bull one. They also can make graphics for what your name in there. All kinds of special graphics. You can have your logos on there. Anything you guys need made for your loved ones, a special one. And also, we have this one right here with Jason. Jason. You see that? Chucky. You guys see all that? I kill for you as a nice cup. It's not good for the kids because you might get in trouble for that, but they make fantastic stuff. So give them a like and share and follow them and check out their products today. Delicious Arizona. Sweet treats for you. If you got the sweet tooth, go check them out. They're here locally in Arizona, Castle Grand, Eloy. They go any events around the world, around the county, and also they got state fair coming up. They're getting prepared for that. It's a busy month for them. Make sure you check them out. Give them a like, follow, and a share. If you got the sweet tooth, go get them. Also, Just Blaze Clothing Company. Check this out. I was the first one to get Just Blaze on my block. Be the first person on your block to get Just Blaze. Go check them out. Give them a like, a follow, and a share. And also, they might have some, special percentage off. Just contact them. Let them know how you heard about it, where you heard it from. Maybe they'll give you a little discount or ordering t-shirts from them. They make great graphics, so just give them a holler. Just Blaze Clothing Company. Get Blaze today, baby. And also, D&D Custom Baits. Got baits for you anywhere in the world. Catch your baits today with D&D Baits. They make great qualities. They make colors. They make, like glow-in-the-dark baits. Anywhere in the ocean, around the world. It could be lakes, rivers, you name it. Catch any fish today. Well, that's it for today. Thank you for watching the full broadcast show. Peace out, and make sure you prepare for Tuesday night. I have a special guest from the UFC. Have a good night. Peace.